This is a video response to all you fucktoids there on my little Benghazi response video, all you leftist trolls out there. First off, to answer a few questions, how these were neocon people for Ansar al-Sharia that were operatives from Al-Qaeda. Okay, do you think Al-Qaeda would be working for anybody from our government after we blamed Osama bin Laden for 9/11 when we know that that was a false flag attack? I'll agree with you there. Come on. I'm not. I don't think the Republicans are not guilty here. I think both sides are guilty. I think the left and the right are some of the people from the same cloth. They're cut from the same cloth. Okay, so we can agree on something here. And Obama is a fucking socialist. Stop defending him. He's not on your side. He's against America. Frankly, it's obvious. If you don't want me to, I'm not going to elaborate on it more. If you'd like me to, I will later on. Just tell me. But basically, the thing is, I'm just telling you, I'm not some like conservative that's blind. All right. I'm more libertarian with some conservative social things, but I keep personal. But I believe people have a right to be free and disagree with me. But the whole point I'm making, though, is that I think that we went to those two wars unjustly. We shouldn't have gone and got involved in Iraq and Afghanistan. It was pointless, and especially since our government took down our own towers. And Obama's really just continuing what Bush and Cheney started, isn't he? He's renewed the Patriot Act and everything like that. And he made it even worse actually with the NDAA Act. Okay, but your whole principle that these were neocon people at Ansar al-Sharia that did that to our annex at some conservatives' behest is absolute fucking insane gibberish. I don't know what Mother Jones article wrote this that you fucking trolls are all reading. Take it from somebody who's got ties in the services, the people that are special operators. You're not telling these people what to do anymore. Why would they even do anything we asked them to do ever since we fucking blamed 9/11 on Osama? You'd be like, oh, why would I do anything for them? They could just blame me for some terrorist attack and then have everybody hating my guts. Fuck them. I'm not going to work for them. So if that's not obvious to you, why they wouldn't help us at all. We did destroy Al Qaeda. Don't get me wrong. We hit the Mujahideen in Afghanistan. We helped them throw the Russians out, and then we betrayed them, panics. We told them we'd be their longtime friends, and we got what we want. And the Russians left, and we fucking left them behind dry, and they hate us. Hey, we started that shit, but they don't work for us anymore. It's been a long time, homie. So get through your head. The reason they raided the Ansar al-Sharia, which is Al-Qaeda affiliated, went for the annex is because they fucking had arms there that they had taken, well, that they thought were theirs, that were stockpiled Gaddafi's, but they're, fucking shoulder fired, fucking heat seeking rockets, surface to air. And these people wanted them, and we basically took them, and we're going to ship them to Syria, to Al Qaeda linked rebels there, which is why Obama's a traitor, because he's sending aid to our enemy. Should be hung, but that's not for me to decide. I'm not threatening violence. I'm just saying you should be. But the whole point is, though, dude, is that your whole idea that this was done for some, like, the other guy in this page, like, some October surprise for Mitt Romney, or like, neocons did this to make Obama look bad. It's like, no, and regardless of all that, Obama is still a fucking murderer because these people are dying, no matter whose fault it was, they're dying. Obama doesn't do anything. This is why it's his fault. He's the commander-in-chief. No unit moved one fucking inch to go aid them or help them during the whole thing. This is actually why it's Obama's fault, because he didn't want to go help them because he didn't want anybody to find out that he was doing missiles to Syria. And so it was to his benefit for them all to fucking be non-existent anymore and be fucking the victims of the attack, the tragic. So that seems pretty cold cut right there, up front. But maybe not for you. Maybe you're an idiot and you can't put two and two together. I don't know what to say to that. I can't help you out with your own lack of logic, common sense, and reason. But the fact of the matter is, he left them there to die, regardless of whose fault whatever it was, whose Ansar al-Sharia worked for. That's irrelevant. The fact is, when people were dying, he did nothing. He's the commander-in-chief. The military says he gives the yay, nay, stop, go, no go, fuck attack, stand down. All those orders come from him. Any stand down order that was given or any thing that was done or not done was because he told people not to go or go. Any kind of order or anything was given based on prerequisites or preconditions that he set before he went to bed that night. Because he talked to Panetta when it first started. And Ham, the AFRICOM leader, the AFRICOM general, was in Washington at the time. The chain of command was right next to him. It relayed what was happening to him, and he did nothing. And nobody, not one military unit moved 1 inch. Not 1 inch. There's one thing we don't do in the military. We don't leave our guys high and dry. We do whatever we can to aid them. And nothing moved. He's commander-in-chief. Things only move in the military because he says to not move or to move. And nothing moved. That is directly his fault. There's nobody else's fault in that, because the chain command was right next to him. He knew early on what was going on. And even if something escalated during the nighttime, he said, don't do anything. Or he said, well, only if this happens, do this. He gave the preconditions. He gave the standards by which any order would be given. If this happens, they would do that. And it seems like he just gave the order to do nothing. Right? I mean, I think that's an unarguable fact. I think that's completely unarguable. In fact, the facts and what happened make arguing with my point right there impossible. Regardless of whose fault you want to say Andrew Elstree and all the people we're working for, let's just throw that aside and just put him to blame right there and saying that he did nothing. He really did nothing. The extremist force in Eastern Europe could have been there in less than 4 hours. They were in alert 60, which is they have to be within 60 minutes of their gear at all times. When I mean within 60 minutes of their gear, means when they get the order to get their shit together, they're on the plane within 60, and the plane's in the tarmac. And also, they didn't need their refueling tanker above the fucking Mediterranean to get F-16s from Eviano there, because they could have had the extra fuel tanks to scrap on the bottom. That could have gotten there without even stopping for fuel. And they could hit Sigonella on the way back, which had jet fuel. We were running the drones out of there. And, they could probably use an F-16 and never fired a shot and just ended the whole thing. So, I don't know if you've ever been underneath F-16, cutting it low across, going over Mach, cutting it low across the face of the earth, have. It's deafening if you don't know it's coming. I mean, luckily you knew it was coming, you got your clothes on, so it's on our side. But, if they had run an F-16 overhead 100 feet off the ground at fucking over Mach, speed of sound plus, all those little cattle talkers would have been like, oh shit, they big my gun over here. They got the F-16s with their big air fire bombs. We're going to get the fuck out of here. Fuck, here's my friend. And they would have taken off, and ran away. And they could probably have won this thing without firing a shot. At least saved a few SEALs' lives. And then the next team that was in America, that is their whole job is to deal with this shit. The guy whose commander was wondering why they were keeping him out. He knew right away almost when it started happening. So we know the chain of command worked. We know that Obama did not get the order. I mean, people are wondering why they're not going like to help. He's the commander-in-chief. Surely got the order. In fact, we know Panetta was right next to him. So that being said, he did nothing. All the units that could move, stood still. And you could use the old tired liberal argument saying, well, they couldn't have got there in time. Well, I just told you right now they could have. That seems to have been there in under 2 hours, and probably could have ended the thing with a quick flyby, and then they established a rotational pattern overhead. It was the thing until they had backup. And the extremist force in Europe was within 4 hours, and the attack went on for 7. So the point being, and they did have a spooky gunship in the area, believe me. They could have put that overhead in an hour and a half. But that's besides the point. That's something that anybody can prove. I happen to know, but nobody can prove it. So we're just going to ignore that. The fact of the matter is that the president did nothing. Nobody moved to help these guys. They were left high and dry. Like I said, you used the liberal tired point of like, nobody could got their time. Well, you all know I've just told you why that's a lie, and you can go check it out. It's a fucking lie. It's been reported in the news plenty, and you can go check any resource about where our units were positioned during training on that date. And you see that I'm right. And once you get to that point where you realize that somebody could have got there in time, you say, well, even if that wasn't the case, whatever, if you say nobody could have got there in time, how the fuck did the president know how long the attack was going to go on for? How did he know that? Unless he was cooperating with the enemy. I don't think he was, but I'm just saying how your point is completely fucking stupid. But he would only know that if he was talking to them, and they were mingling, their words and talking about when the attack was going to go on, how long it was going to last. It's the only way he would know how long the attack was going on for. The only way he could even use that justification, because if he isn't talking to the enemy, he has no idea how long the attacks can go on for. We're lucky that shit can go on for 2 days. More people would have died. What if this attack lasted 2 days, not 7 hours? Nobody would have made that alive. When an enemy starts attacking, you have to just go, because you don't know how hard and how long it's just going to be going on for. And we didn't do it. He's commander-in-chief. He's the only one who put that order in place. So regardless of who Answer El-Sharia was working for, whether neocon or not, your point is fucking stupid. He's still a fucking murderer and left our troops out to dry. And not only that, he did it in a war, having them in a place where in a war that we needed congressional approval to be involved in. He violated the Constitution by us going to Libya. Do you realize that? Because Bush, no matter how much you dislike the guy, and I kind of dislike him too, honestly, he was a bad fucking example of a Republican. In fact, he wasn't. He was just a fucking globalist. Just Obama's a tool for the globalists, mind you. Both sides are playing from the same fucking playbook for the same people, dummy. But the point being is that I'm not even going to go any farther with you. I think I've said everything I have to say. I think I've laid it out quite clearly. Right? Keep your head on straight, dude. Our troops are out there fighting for our country. Whether it's for fucking the big banks, for oil, or for our freedom, they go because they're told to. And that should be commended. And the one thing we don't do is leave them out to dry. And he did that. And that's fucking pretty heinous, especially when he was doing it in a war that we didn't get congressional approval to do. Violating the Constitution to even be there. And violating it again by not getting covert approval from the Intelligence Committee to even do a CIA mission. And not getting permission to do a mission that was actually involved in selling or moving guns to our enemies' affiliates in Syria. Which I'm pretty sure that fits the definition of treason, hating the enemy. I think that's still punishable by hanging, I'm pretty sure. So, I don't like Bush or Obama. If you guys trying to act like I'm propping up Bush and I'm banging out Obama, I'm banging them both out, dude. I'm banging them both out as traitors to the Constitution. Bush for the Patriot Act, all the way, fucking treacherous fucking shit. Look what it's led us to. NDAA, fucking NSA spying. I'm not his boy. Don't treat me like I am. How dare you assume that about me? And how dare you defend a man who let our troops get murdered? Go fuck yourself.